Greetings, my friends. It's Ambassador Kosh again. Um, this will be another reaction, but it's going to be a little bit of a different reaction. This is somewhat delayed reaction, unfortunately. Um, for those of you who don't know, may not be aware, there's a movie coming out in November called "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." It's about it's about Mr. Rogers. For those of you who may not have picked up on that by the title, and this won't be a beat for beat reaction to the trailer. I've watched it several times, and well, if anyone else has seen it or anything, it's a bit of a tearjerker. So, but there's just a couple things I want to say about the trailer and just what's been going on this last week and last several months and everything. And I know a lot of us who are geeks of various stripes, be it from Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and all these other pop culture things that we love and enjoy. And I think this movie about Mr. Rogers, about this reporter that does this interview, this profile on him, and seems to have his life turned around by it and has his life influenced by it, is something we really need right now. I know it's very easy, and I'm as guilty of this as anyone, to get caught up in that negative frame of mind when it comes to things that we love and care about so deeply and so passionately. And I'm with a lot of you when it comes to Star Wars and all these other geek culture things, pop culture things. But I think instead of focusing so much on our displeasure, justified or unjustified, I think in the case of Star Wars, it's somewhat justified. I think maybe instead of getting so wrapped up in all of the negativity and name calling that's been going on towards J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, all those people over at Lucasfilm. And again, I'm just as guilty of that name calling and joking and, so on and everything as anybody else. I'm not going to be some hypocrite and say, well, poo-poo on you if you make fun of these people, because I've done it too. I'm just as guilty. I think maybe we should just take a few minutes and focus on something a little more positive, a little more uplifting, something that feeds our souls. And I honestly think this movie is one of those things that could genuinely make us feel better about ourselves. And maybe rediscover something about ourselves, rediscover the better part of ourselves. So, what I'm saying is next month, November, when Thanksgiving rolls around, instead of taking that money that you weren't going to spend on Star Wars, take and spend it on this. Now, it's your choice, obviously. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Far from it. I'm not the government. But this is my suggestion. Take that $20 or however much that you weren't going to spend on Star Wars Episode 9 and spend it on something that might be encouraging, that might uplift you, that might help you remember, if you grew up as I did with Mr. Rogers, and rediscover something about yourself, that better part of yourself that's maybe doesn't get a chance to breathe as often as it should. And remember a good part of your life if you had the opportunity to watch Mr. Rogers on TV like I did, and like so many of us got a chance to. So instead of saying 9 to 9, say, won't you be my neighbor? Anyway, I will try, because I'm new at this, but I am learning. I will try and leave a link to the trailer and everything in the description down below. And if you can't, it's not hard to find it's not hard to find the trailer on YouTube. Just type in Mr. Rogers or It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, whichever way you want to do it. Until next time, my friends, in the words of one of my favorite sci-fi characters, I have always been here. In the words of the very saintly, godly man, won't you be my neighbor? There, guys.